This is a video about exercises to gain more awareness and strength and uh, health in the TMJ joint for those with TMD or tendomandibular dysfunction. So, what are we doing here? There's a lot of exercises you can do. A lot of them are ridiculous. So we got to aim at the point, the truth of what we're trying to do. And that depends a lot on your own individual situation. Just to begin, let's think about this joint. Now, this joint is not in isolation. You got this joint right here, right? What's really close to it? The ear, the nose, the jaw, and this is the lever of the jaw. And then you got all these muscles right here. So there's a whole bunch of things that are implicated in the function of this joint right here. So just to begin, let's just open the jaw and close. And just open a little bit, open a little tiny bit, and feel with your finger what happens when you do that. Now open a little bit more. Feel what's happening in your ears, and feel what's happening to your head. These muscles up here, those are really important muscles. So there's elevation when you bring up, and there's descending when you go down. Most of the power that you get in your mouth when you're chewing comes from elevation. When you're chewing, you're elevating, and that's where you bring this amount of force. Other things that are important for figuring out the jaw is to understand the hyoid bone. There's a bone in here behind the throat apparatus, and it connects up into the ear. So when you go like this and press out into there, this whole area is being used. Also, when you swallow, this joint is causing the eustachian tubes to open, and those go like this. And then you've got the scalenes that go like this, and the sternocleidomastoid. And so all of these are important for doing work. Tendomandibular joint. So we've got up and down, but there's other motions that the jaw can do. There's translation, and that's, you don't really want to do that too much over the general joint, but that's important for you get that grinding, that you chew down food and everything like that allows it to go side to side. So just try a little side to side with particular attention what's happening here and here. So we got elevation, descending, translation. One more, front to back. Again, you don't want to go too much. You don't want to go too much. When I do that, I get clicking in my ear. So we just want a little bit, because the side to side and the forward and backward, those are important for the function of this joint, but not necessarily something you need to be doing a lot. That's not a very functional thing. So you want to stay within the range, a healthy range of motion for this joint. A lot of people with this issue, with TMD, have something called hypermobility. And that is when the integrity of the joint itself, the collagen aspects, the connective tissue, the structural elements of the joint aren't performing as well as they could be performing. So in those cases, you want to actually strengthen the muscle, because the muscle then takes up a little bit of the job of those connective tissues. So I think a last point that I want to end with here is that there's also not only chewing that this jaw is responsible for, but speaking as well. So if you have tendomandibular problems, you're probably going to have some issues maybe speaking. So it's also good to do some tongue exercises. And I'm going to go a little crazy here, and I'll show you, because this is a good thing for you to do, is just go like, Like, make all the motions that you possibly can do and pay attention to what's going on in that joint while you're doing that. Hopefully this helps. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if it does. I'm not normally doing these types of videos. I usually run a podcast where I interview people about the relationship between stress and creativity. Obviously, I've had a lot of stress on this joint in particular, and that's why I know so much about it. And this is a huge reason why I do the podcast. So please subscribe to this YouTube channel or find me on iTunes at Crazy Wisdom. Hopefully this is helpful, and please let me know if you have any other questions.